how to heal your pain through emotional regulation. If you're in chronic pain and nothing seems to help, this could feel frustrating and even discouraging. But there's a simple approach that many people miss, and it can make a real difference. Today, I'll show you two variations of a very simple technique you can use in under a minute and how to fit that into your daily life in a natural and easy way. But first, let's look at why do we even need to regulate our emotions in order to heal pain. Our equation with chronic pain is very simple. When the brain perceives more danger, it creates more pain, and when it perceives more safety, it creates less pain. When our emotions, especially the negative ones, go unchecked, then the brain feels more tension, it leans more towards danger, and therefore creates more pain. And it works, luckily, also in the other direction. When we regulate our emotions, we reduce the level of tension, the brain feels more safety and reduces the level of pain. The next thing we want to do is use a biological hack that will enable us to shift the brain towards more safety. How do we do that? In our brain, there are two, let's say, major compartments. We have a more primitive brain that creates negative emotions. It is considered the reptile brain, the reptilian brain, and it contains structures like the amygdala that creates many types of fears, for instance. These emotions that are created in the more primitive brain could be regulated by activating higher centers of our brain that are responsible for emotional regulation. For instance, the prefrontal cortex that is located just below our forehead. When we activate these higher centers, what they do is they downregulate the emotions and keep them in check. Let's look now how to do it in practice. This technique is very simple. As I've mentioned, it takes less than a minute, and it's called labeling. Labeling is simply giving a name to what we are feeling, acknowledging that we're feeling something and labeling it with the right name. I once had a patient that told me, when I asked her, okay, so what are you feeling now? And she told me that she grew up in a family with zero emotional awareness. So naming emotions was completely new to her, and she didn't even know the names for emotions. So in order for us to make it easier on us, if you don't have a background of emotional awareness, or you simply want to develop that in order to heal from your pain, what we can do is use lists. And the first and most basic list is the list of 6 basic emotions. I'll now name them, and when I do that, try to feel what is the closest emotion that you are feeling right now. So the 6 basic emotions are anger, fear, sadness, surprise, joy, and disgust. These 6 emotions, of course, they have intensities, but we begin with identifying the right name. After identifying the right name, you can also ask yourself, well, I'm feeling now happy, or I'm feeling now sad. Am I feeling another emotion out of this basic 6 list? If so, you can add that also to the labeling. And then if you want, you can also ask yourself, okay, so on a scale between 0 to 10, how strongly would I rate the level of intensity of this emotion? This technique sounds very simple, but what many people find hard to do is integrate it into their daily life. Many people understand it's important, but somehow forget the opportunities in which they can practice, or practice it for a couple of days and then forget all about it. So I want to give you another tip that can help you integrate it efficiently, long-term into your day-to-day living. And a very simple way to create new habits is to attach the new habit to something you do repeatedly. For instance, most of us eat 3 meals a day. And when you want to integrate the emotional processing or emotional labeling into your daily routine, what you can do is simply decide that with each and every meal, in the beginning of it, you're going to stop, you're going to pause for a short moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling now? Remind yourself the list of 6 basic emotions, label, give a name to the emotion that you're feeling at the moment, and in this way you're already regulating your emotions. So attach this simple practice to each and every meal you eat during your day. By the way, if this is helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, of course, give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows it's valuable and it can send it out to other people like you that also can benefit from this information. Now, there's another point that many people get wrong. And after doing this simple practice of labeling for a while, what would happen is that you are going to get good at it. And when you get good at it, repeating the same practice might become kind of boring. Then what I would recommend you to do is start working with a more elaborate list of emotions. And something I recommend to my patients on a day-to-day basis is using the Wheel of Emotions. The Wheel of Emotions was developed by Robert Plotchik, and it contains 36 emotions. We have 8 basic emotions and variations of these emotions. So in total, we get to 36. In this way, you expand your emotional vocabulary and you become more refined in labeling the exact emotion that you're feeling at the moment. So that's a more advanced level of this same practice. That's a wonderful technique, and I can assure you that if you do it over time, you are going to feel a reduction in the level of tension and a reduction in the level of pain as well. But there's something that many people with chronic pain get wrong, and I want to correct this mistake now. When people with chronic pain hear about the technique, they try it, they practice it for 2 to 3 weeks, and then most of the time they quit. And there's a good reason for that, because when healing from pain, a single technique is never enough. As effective as it may be, it's never going to be enough. What you want to do is you want to build yourself a set of techniques that you practice simultaneously. So for most people, 6, 7, sometimes more techniques, practicing them at the same time during a day-to-day routine is going to be most effective. So if regulating your emotions resonates with you, I invite you to watch this video here where I explain another technique, the journaling technique, that can enhance and empower you on your healing journey.